Sims Walker, knocked down.
Oh my God! Davis is going running all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again.
Jackson takes it himself. Look at him turn back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles.
I have never seen this before in my life.
Still looking, firing, near corner. It's caught. Denver, unbelievable.
And welcome to the fourth down fiasco.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fourth Down Fiasco, your go-to podcast for all things football, brought to you by BetStamp. Yes, BetStamp is our sponsor here at Fourth Down Fiasco. You can check them out at signupexpert.com/fiasco. They're the sports bookie of all sports bookies. They've got everything in one place just for you. I'm talking BetMGM, Bet365, which is really good if you like betting on the ELF. They've got Caesars, FanDuel, all the big name sports bookies all in one place just for you. That is signupexpert.com/fiasco. But with me, as always, is my co-host, contributor, the part owner of the Nordic Storm playoff winning team, Nordic Storm, Daniel Weber. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm conflicted, but I'm doing good.
Why are you conflicted, Daniel?
Oh, no worry. No, just because what you just said, they just happen to be playing against the team that I chose to root for a year and a half, 2 years ago now, or a year ago now.
Real conflict of interest. So, I mean, we'll get into it later in the show, but I think we are all curious. Yes, who are you going to pick between the Storm and the Vikings? But we shall save that for later in the show.
Okay.
I was like, don't say it. Yeah, we got to leave him on the cliffhanger.
No, I was gonna leave him on the edge. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna pick and then stop.
You were going to edge them?
Yeah.
Somewhere there is a 12-year-old boy who giggled at that joke.
Probably your church guys.
Probably my church kiddos. Hey, they're I think 14 or 15 now. 15? Yeah, because they have jobs. The two that I'm thinking of that actually listen to the pod.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird going back this summer or a couple weeks ago and seeing them because they were both wearing HTO shirts, that tea place in Loveland.
Yeah, H2O.
And it was weird to see them in those, and I was like, "Oh, did y'all get those at a thrift store?" And they're like, "No, we worked there now." And I'm like, "Oh,
we worked there."
Oh, weird. I remember when y'all weren't even in middle school. Cool. So the wild card round of the European League of Football just commenced. It was a lovely weekend. We had one super close game and one not so much. We will start with the first game that was on the slate, the not-so-close game. The Madrid Bravos traveled out to the Stuttgart Surge and got spanked. Daniel, initial thoughts about the game?
First quarter was really good. Well, first almost two quarters were really good. The last 53 seconds, though, in the first half. Oof.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah. The big thing that jumped off on the page for me here, we're talking about a Madrid Bravos team that has one of the best offensive lines in the league because it goes with the best offense in the league. And the Stuttgart defensive line made it look like they were playing against children. It was the amount of pressure that they got on Reed Sinnott was just absurd. I mean, I'm looking at the box scores now. How many total sacks were there?
5.
Let's see. 5? Felt like a lot more than that, but definitely additional QB pressures. I mean, how many sacks did you say Madrid gave up all season?
If the stat page is not lying, 14.
14. Wow. So 14 over the course of 12 games. So slightly over a sack a game, and they allowed 5 sacks in the wild card game.
Oof.
I mean, friend of the pod, Reed Sinnott, well, I say friend of the pod. He hasn't interviewed with us yet, but we're getting there.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Our boy Reed was out there just running for his life, dude. I felt bad for him because he was when he had time to set his feet, he was making good throws. I mean, he still ended up with 321 passing yards, still had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, played a clean game, but he was just getting hit.
Yeah. And they couldn't even get the run game going. Like, Seelig, you're most likely the offensive rookie of the year out of the 3 finalists. 21 yards.
On 8 attempts, so a 2.6 average per carry. But it wasn't just him who was running terribly.
No.
Yeah, Molina couldn't get anything on the ground either. And really the only reason why Sinnott was able to do anything with his feet is because he's the quarterback. So, you can break the pocket and you can go run for something. But
yeah, well, what's the saying or whatever? It's like unstoppable force versus immovable object or something like that. Number 1 defense versus number 1 offense. Defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships. I was just about to say that. Oh, man. Yeah, dude. Stuttgart has been such a weird team this year just because between the not playing Riley Hennessy in order to, keep him fresh and not get him hurt, they would never say that out loud, but that's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. And then playing a lot of really not so great teams in the ELF, aside from a pair of Munich games and
the Paris game.
In the Paris game, yeah. I was like, there's another decent team that they played. Yeah. Between, they had 4 good games out of 12, and the other 8 were against shit teams. And so we haven't really been able to see this Surge team in full force because, between playing or pulling Riley for certain games or completely closing down the offense in other games like that first Munich game. The reason why Munich came back was because after they got up big, they were just like, hey, look, we're going to close the playbook down. We don't want y'all seeing too much. They've kind of been taking their foot off the gas against opponents. We haven't been able to see a Stuttgart team say, all right, it's game time. They've
been hustling us.
Yeah. They have been hustling.
They've been hustling us,
dude. They have been, and this is a prime example, dude. That their defensive line has been just absurd. They were absurd.
They had 22 sacks or something like that going into this game.
Yeah,
let's see, team totals, defense, sack. No, I lied. They have 48 sacks.
I was going to say 22 sounded low, but you're normally the stat guy.
They have 48 sacks.
Jeez. Now, of course, again, some of that is inflated with some of the really bad opponents that they faced throughout the year.
Yeah.
But we just saw them go up against the number 1 offense in the ELF and still get 5 sacks. So I don't think that's a fake number. No. Oh, man. 48 sacks in 12 games. Jeez. Yeah, no, that's
stupid.
That's ridiculous, bro. My God.
But I was looking at other stats earlier. Sinnott finished with 4,169 yards. Almost just over a 72% completion percentage. That's wild. The next closest is at 66.
What was his completion percentage for this game? Because it wasn't nearly as good. I see 28 of 44.
But
let me pull out the calculator. So about 64%. So he's doing about.
He was 3rd in the league instead of 1st in the league.
That's still ridiculous that with that amount of pressure, he was still able to do that.
But he threw the ball, 420 something times this year.
We may never see just as far as just a pure arm. We may not see a season like that from just a pure arm again for a while. Just the things that.
Hopefully he comes back. He seemed like he liked Madrid.
He did. He seemed like he really enjoyed it. He's one of those guys.
Defense and he can make a run.
Truly, and that's. At the end of all of this, that's really what the difference maker was, is that Madrid's defense, we knew going into this game, was not good. And so it was really just like how many points will the Surge put up. And, can they outpace Madrid's offense? But the Surge's defense just took over the game. I'll also go ahead and shout out Wilson as well out there in the backfield. I know that Cruikshank still got one long pass on him and still got the one touchdown on him. But when we're talking about a guy who put up close to 2,000 yards receiving in a 12-game season and had, 20 touchdowns, right?
20 touchdowns.
Yeah, 20 touchdowns in 12 games. And, just putting up ridiculous video game numbers. And he was held to 86 yards, had the one touchdown, had the one long pass, which, we're all thinking was zone coverage. And then the one touchdown grab, which I think that was actually on Wilson. But, man, Wilson put it to him, and that brother deserves some flowers. I don't know if it's big dog material, but it's definitely something that needs to be recognized because he was on him the whole game. He shadowed that man.
They were chirping at each other the whole game.
It was great. Dude, Wilson was talking so much shit.
Every time they panned to each other, they were just face mask to face mask.
And that's so good for the league. I loved every moment of that. But yeah, Wilson had 4 pass breakups and just, shut down. And again, there's an asterisk next to the word shut down, but shut down Cruikshank.
But what was hold on. Let's see something real quick. Let me go back.
When was the last game that Cruikshank didn't have triple digits in receiving yards?
It's a good question. But it was 34-3 when Cruikshank scored his touchdown.
Correct. Yeah, it definitely was a little bit more. Also with the bomb too, because that was on the same drive. So I wouldn't be surprised if that touchdown also wasn't just zone coverage and Cruikshank found the hole. That bomb was, at least from what I saw, was zone coverage. And by that point, the Surge kind of did that thing where they kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit, and they were like, we'll be fine.
If we give up one touchdown, who cares?
It'll be okay.
Honestly, when it was 7 minutes left and it was 34-17, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, at that moment, I was like, ooh, we could have a game. And then the Surge went down and scored real quick, and it was like, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That big Lewis Geyer bomb.
Yeah. Which Lewis Geyer, definitely another guy that we need to talk about. 4 receptions, 118 yards, a 29.5-yard average, 2 touchdowns. That man,
2 duddies.
Bald. And
he's been sneaky all year.
I don't even know if sneaky is the right word because we knew going into the season who Luis Geyer was, he was almost on a CFL team right before the season started.
Yeah.
And decided to come back. He's that dude. He's got that kind of talent level, bro. Like, I would not be surprised if we don't see Geyer, on a CFL or UFL team next year because he has that kind of ability. He's got the route running. The only thing that he doesn't have is he's not big enough to be running at the speed that he's running at. And so, there definitely is that next tier of speed that you get once you hit like the UFL and CFL.
Yeah.
But as far as route running, hands, reliability, IQ, that man is him.
But no, it's good. A guy that did a little bit coming back from injury, our friend of the pod, Jordan Bois. It's nice to see him still trucking along.
Yeah. And I like the way that Stuttgart is using him. They're not doing a ton of these like big explosive plays with him. I'm sure that even with his recovery, he's probably not even able to do a ton of explosive stuff just yet. But he's still somebody that you got to honor, bro. Like he has the pedigree and just the name alone carries weight. It was a lot of dink and dump passes with him, but it was just to keep the defense honest.
It's kind of like a Deebo Samuel-esque because we saw a couple end arounds. We saw like a handoff for Bois. Like they're just moving him around. And when you got a dude that can run as fast as he can.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You still got to honor it because if you don't, then you're going to see him in the end zone and you're going to be like, how did we let this happen? And even with the this jet sweep that they had with him, I know that it went for -8 yards, which a lot of it was because he was trying to go around, and so he went even further back. It probably should have been for like loss of 2. But even in that situation, I like the call because it's still keeping the defense honest of like, hey, yeah, we still have weapons. We can do things with our weapons that isn't just throwing the ball. And it was like 2 plays later, it was like a Luis Geyer bomb. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. I had no complaints about it.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Friend of the pod, Jordan Bois.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. But yeah, any final thoughts about the Stuttgart-Madrid matchup before we get to what was the game of the week?
I don't think it was a surprise to anyone that Stuttgart won.
I thought it was going to be a lot closer.
I thought it was going to be closer, but I still expected Stuttgart to win.
Correct.
It felt like they were hustling us all year, and the playoffs come, and they're going to ball out.
Dude, that defensive line is making me reconsider a lot of things, brother.
Yeah. And in the words of Jamal, when Hennessy starts dancing,
hey,
watch out.
Hey, Big Cognac. Hey, Big Cognac was out there. I don't know what the name of that dance was.
It was the Amon-Ra St. Brown did it. Remember? Did you ever watch Receiver on Netflix?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. He did do that.
Remember his dad yelled at him, yelled at his girlfriend, and she was like, I didn't tell him to do that.
Yeah.
It was like the hip thrust and then like the hip tap, hit tap, so he wouldn't get fined for the 3 pumps.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. No, yeah. Big Cognac out there hip thrusting for all of us. We appreciate you, Big Cognac. Oh, man. Well, 2 teams that were not hip thrusting on their opponents because it was a lot closer of a matchup. The Rhine Fire traveled out to Copenhagen to take on the Nordic Storm for round 3 of what is becoming a beautiful budding rivalry. This one was a lot of fun, and I know that Ryan, didn't walk away with the victory for this one. I do want to shout out that defense, though. I know that the Nordic Storm put up 28 points, but dude, that defense gave everything they had that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were on the field for over 34 minutes. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, the difference in time of possession was wild, and the fact that they still only gave up 28 points. And I mean, I'm looking at the stats here, and like their defense played great. Kinsey had 14 tackles. You probably don't want Amari Williams having 9 tackles, but he did. Multiple tackles for loss. They only got 1 sack though, so they weren't getting nearly as much pressure on One-Way Jay as they probably would have liked to have.
From the first 2 games, they did not do anything. But what's wild is like we expected the Nordic Storm rushing defense to give up over 5 yards a carry. It's just how it's been. Mm-hmm. Ryan Fire gave up over 6 yards a carry.
Yeah. Hey, that what is his name? Soularoy? Is that how you pronounce it?
Soularat?
I thought he was French. The T should be silent.
Soularat? I don't know. That's what the announcer was saying, but he's also not French.
Yeah, I was gonna say the announcer for this game said some things, and I was like, brother, what
said Chad Jeffrey should not throw a touchdown on 4th and goal when the Nordic Storm were on offense.
Yeah. He also said, I don't condone this play call, and then immediately afterwards, the Nordic Storm threw a touchdown pass.
If I had to guess, he was a little bit biased.
Yeah, just based on the accent alone.
Just a couple questionable commentary calls.
But it's fine.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because the Nordic Storm ended up winning this one. Again, very close affair. I mean, I'm even just looking at the quarter by quarter. This game was nuts. First quarter ends at 7-6. Second quarter ends, it's 20-9 going into halftime. You're like, okay, maybe the Nordic Storm will pull away. Rhine Fire come out in the third quarter, get some key stops. Then all of a sudden it's 16-20. And then, the last quarter, Nordic Storm score one more time, as do the Rhine Fire. Man, it was a tight affair, whole game. This is the kind of football we love.
Yeah, back and forth football, literally. Nordic, Rhine, Nordic, Rhine, Nordic, Rhine, Nordic, Rhine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do owe Matt Bresington a pint next weekend. The over-under was set at like, I think it was like 65.5 or 60 or something like that. They needed 24 points in the second half total. And I was like, you got to hit the over. You got to hammer it, right? And he's like,
Wrong.
Wrong indeed. So, oops. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah. I will say with Ryan, I really think the thing that's holding them back, I don't even think that it's Chad Jeffries necessarily. I think Jeffries needs more weapons.
Not even that, it's their play calling. Their play calling is atrocious. You have the weapons. You like. I
mean, outside of Kofi, do you though?
Mark Pope is good. We've seen him be good.
It's fine.
Well, their A's have been hurt. Yes, but like, if you had an A that was there all year, that's fine. Like, you have weapons. You got Scott. You got Kofi. You got an A. Justin Schleisinger.
Yeah.
He can be good when he wants to.
Wait, aren't you the German? Why am I the one pronouncing all the last names correctly?
I just said it. Schleisinger.
It took you a moment.
Because I was blind. And yes, the French last name, sorry.
Anyways. But no, I like Chad Jeffries as a quarterback because I saw a playoff game last year where Jeffries went toe-to-toe with our boy Magic Zach and put up something ridiculous. It was like 5 touchdowns or something like that, 4 or 5 tuds, and was sacrificing his body for big gains on the ground too. Like, Jeffries can play. I don't think that, sure, he went 16 of 28 for 156 and only 1 touchdown. I think that if you can get him a true A import that is an absolute baller, if you can get him, I was going to say Crookshank, but there's only one Crookshank in the ELF. But if you can get him a Michael Harley Jr. or someone like that, a true bona fide A import number 1 that in these big moments can get you 80 to 100 yards and a touchdown, this game looks different,
Yeah. But like, I can count, I think, on less than one hand the amount of deep passes they took.
That's also fair.
Like, they were running the ball, and then when you needed to run the ball, they'd stop running the ball, which made 0 sense. On 4th and 2 in the 4th quarter, you're down by 5 with 7 minutes left. You're averaging over 6 yards a carry. You got Jonathan Scott in the backfield.
Yeah, Scott was
punt. This thing. All you had to do was run it up the middle. No one's going to stop you.
I mean, yeah, dude, I'm looking at his numbers.
18 of 158. Yes, I may be biased. His first carry for 69 yards, there might have been a little bit hold on the defensive back that opened up the outside. But
a little.
Just watch his jersey kind of get pulled off. It's fine.
Yeah, I was about to say a little.
A little hold.
Yeah. But we've seen the ELF is a lot more lax when it comes to penalties anyway. Like, that's just the nature of this league, and I kind of like it. Like play through.
It is until it isn't, which is weird because like the second half of this game, there were some weird penalties.
Right? Yeah.
We're like, they
started throwing a couple too many flags. Same with the Stuttgart game.
Yeah.
The last quarter of the Stuttgart Madrid game, it took forever because they were throwing flags.
Yeah, it's like you out of everything you called
that.
Yeah. Like, all right.
But yeah, no, I feel like with this Nordic team, we still don't know anything about them going into this next week.
But I so wish like they didn't have if they didn't have injuries, this upcoming game would be, I feel like, so much better than it could already be. Because like if the Storm defense was healthy, that's top 5 defense we saw in the beginning of the year. If their offense is healthy, not even with just Glenn Tunga, but Theo Landstrom, their one import wide receiver who tore his meniscus in training camp, he's like 6'4" and runs like a 4.5. So if you got Botella, Bo, Fonz, and Landstrom with Tunga and Clark, who are you stopping?
Yeah.
Like, so if they retain this team next year in whatever league we're playing in, holy cow, the Storm are going to be terrifying.
Yeah, truly. Truly.
But injuries are part of the game.
Injuries are part of the game. Well, any last thoughts about what was a excellent way to end the wild card weekend?
My heart rate was elevated.
I'm sure it was, Mr. Part Owner. I mean, I did pick Nordic to win this game.
Hold on. Tanner, where the hell are you, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Ryan Fire going further than the Nordic Storm. I'm going to be insufferable if Nordic loses. And now you can't even make the pod. Oh, I got to pick up a gift from 3 to 11. Come on.
He's lucky he's doing the Lord's work, or else I'd shit on him a lot harder. He's out there helping out at-risk youth and things like that, so I'll let him slide. But he was talking a lot of shit last pod, for sure.
You were talking – the last couple pods, he was on it. He's like, Ryan Fire, Ryan Fire, Nordic Storm, not good enough. Fraud.
To be fair, I understand why it is hard to bet against the Rhein Fire, because they really shouldn't have even been in the playoffs, and they dug themselves out of a grave somehow and managed
with the help of Frankfurt deciding to play bracket buster. But yeah,
true. But still, they had to win games on their own end, and they did. It dug themselves out of a hole and still made the playoffs. They should be proud of that. And maybe next year, if their OC is a little bit more willing to let Jeffries actually be a quarterback, because newsflash, he can throw the ball if you let him.
Holy cow, he can throw. Holy shit.
Yeah. Who would have thought that a guy who's been top 5 in passing yards the past 3 years is worthy of actually throwing a deep ball from time to time? But Ryan's going to be back. Ryan's going to be back. And
I don't trust a top organization rebuilding and reloading.
Dude, a rebuilding and reloading year for Ryan is still making the playoffs and almost beating who's probably going to be the MVP in Jadrian Clark.
I feel like they're just we can talk about this more next week.
Mm-hmm.
But actual awards and stuff.
Yeah.
Jadrian, I think, has been a better quarterback in one less game, but I think they're just going to go Sinet with the numbers he has.
Yeah, we can get into that. No, that's a whole different. But we do have our own awards for this week. Did you like that segue? We do have our own awards here at Fourth Down Fiasco that we do give out weekly. I'm having to pull them up because I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. But the Big Dog Award, now this one took some deliberation because, as we did talk about earlier, we do want to recognize the fact that Crookshank still got some yardage and a touchdown on Wilson. So we didn't quite feel like we could just solely give Wilson his own Big Dog Award, even though he still played phenomenal. So instead, Daniel, who did we decide to give the Big Dog Award to?
Not just Wilson himself,
but
the entire Stuttgart Surge defense.
Yes, sir.
The entire Stuttgart Surge defense.
Yeah, because they deserved it. I'm sorry, but you held the number 1 offense in the league to 17 points. Ridiculous.
The Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, you held the Triple Crown winner to 86 yards in one TUD.
The most passing yards and touchdowns in a single season by a quarterback? Him?
Oh, he's also.
And now Jordan was so excited he decided to just leave? He just can't handle the excitement. But no, yeah, we talked about it before. The Stuttgart defense just balled out. We've known how good they are. But I don't think anyone expected them to hold Madrid's offense to 17 points. Jordan is back, kind of.
I can fix the webcam thing. I don't know why you kicked me out, bro.
I didn't touch you. I just said you were too excited. So you just had to leave.
I might have. You know what? I was doing victory laps for that Stuttgart Surge defense.
He was just so excited because no one expected them to hold him to 17 points.
Yeah. Wild. Yeah, it's funny because you said Triple Crown winner, and I immediately thought Crookshank because he is, for receivers, the Triple Crown winner. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, so is Reed Sinet for quarterbacks. Whoopsies. So, but yeah, just ridiculous. 17 points. Unheard of. against the Madrid Bravos this season. Unheard of. Yes. So, Big Dog Award goes to the entire Stuttgart Surge defense. Y'all, every last one of y'all deserves it because Seibert, had 12 tackles, had 1 tackle for loss. Again, Wilson held Crookshank, the best receiver, by a decent amount this season, held him to 86 yards, only 1 touchdown, had 4 pass breakups too while he was at it. Malumba had 5 tackles. Fedig had 6 tackles. Kress had 2 sacks. Lockman had a sack. I mean, Malumba also had himself a sack. Just across the board, man, they were just out there. Vidakovic also had 2 pass breakups. I've just been calling him Vida because it's a lot shorter and easier to say, and I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. So, brother, if you're listening, I'm sorry I butchered your name. It's the American education system. You can blame that. Blame Bush because that's who caused my education to not be all that great. Was good old W.
Bush is.
Yeah, Bush. Bush Senior is a little too old for him to really have an effect on me. But Bush Jr., 1,000% is the reason why. But yeah, Stuttgart defense was just all over the place. But with that takes us to our unsung hero, Daniel, who had the honors of being Mr. Unsung.
Mr. Unsung, playing in Copenhagen from the country that you love. The
Ooh.
Frenchman.
Oh, fuck the French. Okay.
Armin Sulerat. Or however you say.
Sulerat. Armin, if we butchered your name as well, just remember it's the American education system.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But Nordic, on their RB4, down Tunga, down Kennedy, down Anton, bringing in Sulerat. He had a game.
That's how a white man runs the football.
The scoreboard doesn't show it, but this dude balled out.
Showed it.
16 attempts, 83 yards in the game-sealing touchdown.
Showed it.
With 1:50 to go.
Mm-hmm. Showed it. I mean, just efficient work, averaging basically 5.2 yards per carry. What else can you say other than, he was a great safety blanket whole game. And, also had 2 catches, 18 yards, was a good check down guy for our boy One Way Jay. He's just making positive plays out there, man. That is true unsung mentality right there. Next man up. Because,
RB4 doesn't show it, but he was needed.
He was needed. He was helpful. You was kind, you was smart, you was somebody. Shout out to the help. I know our European listeners will not get that reference, but he was somebody, okay? And that's all you need from your RB4 in a playoff game where you're having to call upon him. Be somebody. And boy, was he somebody.
But everyone's favorite award.
This is the somebody that shouldn't be somebody. The Mr. Fiasco Award, the Fiasco Player of the Week Award.
We were going to have a hard time figuring this out.
I feel like it wasn't that hard for me.
Until this happened.
Yeah. Originally, it was just going to go to the entire Madrid offensive line because they was out there playing like booty cheeks the whole game. But this goes to a particular offensive lineman, one Carlos Carrascos, who didn't even have his helmet and pads on by the time that this happened. A mild scuffle breaks out midway through the fourth quarter, and here comes Carrascos running onto the field without his pads, without his helmet, and just decides to lay out one of Stuttgart's players. I mean, just blindsides the guy,
And if the team didn't come to his help, he was about to start wailing on the guy.
Hey, look, I love a guy who's about his boys like that. If we're being honest, you got to keep your shit together, but I also do love a good ride or die. And so Carlos was out there just decking folks. And, other guys who are part of the scuffle, they got flagged. They got the first infraction before getting kicked out of the game, whatever. Our boy Carlos just got ejected. just straight
gone.
up ejected. So, good times. Good times.
What a time.
Yeah.
What a time.
What a time. So that is our player awards. Of course, we are definitely considering who is going to be the Mr. Fiasco of the season. That's still in discussions now. Carrasco, after this one, a little higher on that list. I don't think he's number one. Maybe a little higher on that list because we've only had so many players ejected this year.
It's only his first offense.
Yeah. There is a certain friend of the pod who is kind of running away with this one, but we're going to talk about that at a different time because we've got to have things to talk about in the off season.
Oh, we have to. We might have more awards coming, more positive and more negative. We'll find out.
We shall find out. But that takes us, Daniel. We're nearing the end of the pod, but we do have one thing to talk about.
I don't want to.
It's time.
I don't want to.
We've got to talk about the semifinals.
Can we
and the first game on the dockets?
No.
Can we
tie and take the best players from
No. It's time for your conflict of interest to be addressed.
The Nordic Vikings, because that makes sense. The Nordic
Vikings does make the most sense for sure. But yeah, we've got to talk about the team that you chose from the beginning to love and to hold forever in holy matrimony, and the team that you kind of got a little thing with because you kind of make some money off them. You know what I'm saying?
You're not making any money, but it's
kind of your side piece, little side slut action. The Nordic Storm are taking on the Vienna Vikings out in Vienna, and Daniel, since it's your conflict of interest, you get to answer the question first. Who is going to win the semifinal game between the Nordic Storm and the Vienna Vikings, brother?
No matter what I say, people are going to be mad at me because I'm too invested in either side.
You are either going to have Randy Schrader and One Way Jay in your DMs if you choose Vienna, or you're going to have Ben Holmes and Kiki, and we don't like to piss off Kiki in your DMs.
I had a 2-hour conversation with both owners of the Vienna Vikings and their entire team. I had team dinner with them after the game.
Are you going to be a traitor and choose the Storm? Or are you going to be a traitor against the Storm? Because remember, you did have beers and have a lot of high fives with folks for that Storm game.
Yeah, that was pretty electric.
I'm having fun over here. I'm watching you suffer.
I hate this.
Good. My decision making is easy.
Yeah, but
what you got?
When it comes to close games, Taryn and I roll by the same rule.
Which is?
Home field is worth a lot.
Okay.
Nordic is also banged up.
But you're going to vote against the ELF Patrick Mahomes?
And that's where I run into my issue.
Exactly.
You got the 2-time defending champ going against Ben Holmes. Ben Holmes. Yeah, he put up numbers, but he lost to this guy last year.
Jadrian Clark is a certified psychopath. Remember that now. The way that he was bitching out his own coach on the sidelines of this wild card game makes it hard to bet against him.
Watching the two of them in person is wild because Jadrian Clark, dude, gets heated. He will yell at anyone. You get in his way, he will shove you over. Ben Holmes, I had to ask his wife why he was sitting by himself on the sidelines. And he just goes to himself. Yeah. So one dude doesn't say a word to anybody. The other guy, don't piss him off.
Honestly, the playoffs, I love the playoffs because, obviously the best competition. But it also gives us the best quarterbacks, and we get such a broad spectrum of quarterbacks once the playoffs.
Look at just the final 4 quarterbacks. We got Ben Holmes, White Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Russell Tabor, young White Lamar Jackson. Adrian Clark, certified baller. And then Riley Hennessy, who you could probably put Jadrian and Riley in the same little box. So
as far as pure arm talent, yeah, for sure.
We have two of the exact same quarterbacks in both semifinal matchups, and it is great because they play so different.
For me, it's almost like I look at, if we're looking at the four quarterbacks that are in right now, Tabor is the exciting young gun. He's like a young Brett Favre minus, the controversies of stealing other people's welfare. A young Brett Favre, right? Got an arm for days, can do some stuff on the ground, real exciting guy. Sometimes turns over the ball a little too much, but man, is he fun, We haven't gotten the opportunity to really talk to him. I hope that we do before next season. Then you've got Ben Holmes, who incredible arm talent, so sneaky fast. Doesn't know jack shit about anybody else in the league except for the people on his own team.
Not even.
Doesn't he? Yeah, barely does his own homework, but goes out and will give you a 300 burger with 4 tuds on any given Sunday, right? And then you've got Jadrian Clark, certified psychopath, like Tom Brady behavior, will chew you out, cuss you out because you missed a block or you called the wrong play. Doesn't care if you're his coach. It is Jadrian's team, okay? And then you have Riley Hennessy, who's kind of like, he's a psychopath in his own right of he knows way too much about everybody else.
Drew Brees.
Yes. Like a guy that you're like, hey, tell me about Jalen Henderson. What is his play style? How does he throw the ball? Break down his mechanics. And Riley will do that for you. Not necessarily the get in your face psychopath, but definitely the sits at home for way too long and does way too much homework just for fun psychopath. And I love it. I love all.
So we got young Brett Favre, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Who are we comparing Ben Holmes to?
White Lamar, brother. Nah, he's more accurate than that. Maybe more like a skinny Josh Allen, if we're being honest.
Ooh, Josh Allen's not a bad one.
Yeah, probably a skinny Josh Allen, but I like calling him White Lamar. So that's.
So then it goes to, would I rather take prime Tom Brady versus prime Josh Allen?
Yeah.
But you also think about defense.
All right, so what's the answer, Daniel? We went completely off track and started talking about quarterbacks. Who do you have? The Nordic Storm or the Vienna Vikings?
What else can I do to drag this out?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna have to go with the Vienna Vikings. Okay. At home, with their crowd, healthy, their defense is top-notch, and their offense is just as good, if not better, than the Nordic Storm currently. Yeah.
I'm with you. I agree. I figured
Sorry, Randy. Sorry, Jadrian. Sorry, Glenn. Sorry, Michael.
Sorry, Randy. We can go down the list. No, I think that the big difference is just roster depth. I think that if you're going starter for starter, pretty similar, but it's those those fringe starters / backups who get a lot of playing time, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think Vienna is just too deep of a team. A lot of, they've got a lot of guys who are backups that on a lot of these other teams across the league would be number ones.
Yeah. And I mean, Walren's playing with a bum ankle. Ludwig Myron is still out. Parkinson's been hurt here and there. Yeah. It's like people are just banged up. And we said it before, it's football. But luckily Vienna hasn't caught the injury bug.
Yeah. You better knock on some wood there. I knocked on some wood for you. You're welcome.
Thanks.
But yeah, if you, just especially Vienna's slate of just playmakers on the offensive end, it just never ends.
No, it's so deep, and you just get into the homegrowns at this point.
Yeah. Now, the one area that we have seen Vienna show some weakness where Nordic has a chance, Daniel?
It's the run game.
It's the run game. It show is. Now, of course, RB4, our boy, our unsung hero, Celeroy, may not do what he did again, but he might also do what he did again because Vienna's run defense does look just a little sketchy.
Yeah. Maybe the bye week they'll fix it. But like losing week 14 really screwed this because I wanted this to be my championship game. I did not want it to be a semifinal matchup. I wanted to watch both teams in person. But no, we had to lose to the Rhine Fire week 14.
Championship game's going to suck because you and I are going to be at ends with each other.
I hope Munich makes it just to spite you.
But yeah, I'm choosing Vienna in this one. Yeah, between the home field advantage, just the deeper roster. But I say that, and I would not be surprised if Jadrian Clark and his psychopathic behavior willed his team into the championship game.
And that's what I love about ELF playoffs, because literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
Like Vienna has been the number one team all year. Yes, they've lost a game, but they are.
So is everybody.
They are shoulders. They're not head and shoulders above everyone, but they are shoulders above everyone.
They are 1A, and I would say Stuttgart is a 1B.
Yeah,
but yes.
Like if you're telling me to pick between Vienna and Stuttgart in the regular season, just because we know what Stuttgart's been doing.
Oh, definitely in the regular season.
9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
But it's like Vienna's just been good.
Yes, Vienna has been more than good. They have the teams that they're supposed to beat down, they beat down. The teams that, are better, more, playoff worthy teams, they still beat them. So what can you ask besides that?
You can't ask for much.
Nope. Well, so we're both in agreement on that game. Now I'm curious if you're going to go against me just to spite me. But the second game on Sunday, we have the Stuttgart Surge going out to face the Munich Ravens. Now, this is a road game for the Stuttgart Surge. I personally am still taking Stuttgart in this, but I am curious who you have.
It's bit me in the butt a lot this year already. I don't know why I'm still on this train of Munich are not frauds, but not a good team at 11-1. Not a good team is not the right thing either. Yeah. I don't trust Munich. They can't close out games. Yeah, they will hold on to a game barely by a thread, but they can't just stomp on someone's throat and run the score up.
Yeah. Yeah. This is, my theory that I've had with Tabor is that he can't continue to turn over the ball and expect to win a game in the playoffs. Mm-mm. And my theory is going to be put to the test because I think, especially with what I saw the Stuttgart Surge defense do to Madrid, the number one offense in the ELF, I think that there's going to be some turnovers from one Tabor. So at the end of the day, I think whoever wins this game is going to win it all, mainly just because I have to cheer against Vienna to spite you, Daniel.
What did I ever do to you?
You're my friend, so I have to hate you. That's
why can't we cheer together?
No, ew, that's disgusting. Why would we ever do that?
But no, I think all three of us are on agreement of who this championship game is because they are 1A and 1B.
Yeah, true.
They have been throughout the year since we've been following this league.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see, or did you read the conversation we had with Riley about why Barcelona's in CFB 26?
No, I didn't. What'd he say?
He commented. He DM'd us. He was like, "Why Barcelona?" It was like all 16 and then Barcelona. And I was like, "Well, we still have to make Jordan happy." And he's like, "Jordan's a Sturge fan now, so."
Now, see, it's going to be really sad. I really hope that whenever Riley leaves the Surge, that the Surge do a really good job of replacing him. Because I'm going to be really pissed off if I do all of this and become a pseudo Surge fan, and then they just suck after Riley's gone.
I hope so. Just because of you.
Yeah, just for me. I only ever cheer for teams that bring me pain, apparently.
No, yeah. I mean, I do too. Besides, I chose one good thing in my life for sports teams. It's fine.
Yeah.
But we did also lose in the championship game last year. So that's 2 in the last 5 years where we've lost the championship game.
Hey, dude, my team relegated themselves. I don't want to hear it.
That's just as bad as losing a championship game.
I would have rather have lost the championship game. 1,000%. Run me that. Run me a Barcelona championship game tomorrow with a guaranteed loss for Barcelona, and I will, whatever I need to do, I'll make it happen.
But I'm getting my head of myself again. If our 2 picks are correct here, it is going to be so sad about with one of these 2 quarterbacks not leaving the ELF with a ring.
Yep. Well, Ben Holmes, if the price is right, would potentially come back. Riley's gone.
I feel like if he doesn't win, I feel like the price is right for Riley. Like there's just something in him. Like if he is this close, he's not done. Especially if the price is right.
But is the price going to be right?
Oh yeah. But
I don't know, dude. He has a job lined up in the States where his boss literally was just like, take one more season, give it one more try. This job will be here for you. But we'll see. Yeah, we're definitely getting ahead of ourselves with that one. But back to the game.
You could win your own championship on College Football 26 if you type creator Wanny Deborah 3 and download all the ELF teams.
Shameless plug. I love it.
You should go do that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people already did because we had a post that popped off.
And a lot of people who, funny, there's been some players that we've been trying to, get interviews with, get quotes after games that don't ever want to talk to us. All of a sudden, when we start putting together rosters that involve them, we're their best friend and they're all up in our DMs.
We're getting a lot of DMs.
Yeah. So good job, Danny. That is
we
all.
We went from diffusing situations last week with the Paris Musketeers into everyone loving us in like 5 days.
Whew, that was a whirlwind of some things. Yeah, dude, the Paris thing was funny. I ain't even gonna lie.
Oh, thanks for 500 followers as well.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate that. We keep digressing from this, but Stuttgart, Munich, I think it really comes down to if Tabor takes care of the ball, I think Munich has a real shot just because they are a very complete team. They have a great defense, just like Stuttgart does. I think that their offense might actually be a smidge better.
I like their running back room more.
I do too. But I think that Stuttgart's defense, at least right now, is looking better. And so it really comes down to, can Tabor take care of the ball? Because if Tabor can't take care of the ball, they're going to lose.
Yep, 100%.
And which, no knock on the 22-year-old, he has a bright future in this league. And if he wins this game, I think he's going to win it all, personally. And we're going to have some really weird, uncomfortable discussions afterwards. But yeah, I'm going with Stuttgart on this one.
Yeah, I think it goes back to defense wins championships. And I like Stuttgart's defense just a little bit more than Munich.
I agree.
But shout out to their head coach getting a 2-year extension for whatever league.
Yeah, whatever league. But, well, cool. Danny, do you have any other final thoughts on either of these 2 matchups before I end the show?
Please don't hate me, Nordic.
I hope Randy Schrader, owner of the Nordic Storm and friend of the pod, I hope he revokes your ownership status just for this. Since you have a vested interest. You have literal money in this team. And you're voting against them?
Yeah.
Couldn't be me, dog. Couldn't be me.
Fandom over money.
Fair. Hey, that's a real ass
over money, baby.
Fandom over money. That's how we go in the pod today. You can follow us on Twitter at @4thdown_pod, at 4th Down Fiasco on TikTok and Instagram. But yes, fandom over money. Always. This has been Danny and Jordan saying so long. And in the absence of Tanner, hugs and kisses.
Peace.
Well, I like school, and I like football, and I I'm gonna keep doing them both because they make me feel good.